Determine all critical numbers for the function f of x equals x minus 5 divided by x squared minus 16. Critical numbers are the x values that make the numerator and the denominator of the derivative equal to 0 and are in the domain of the function. The first thing to do is find the domain. F of x equals x minus 5 divided by x squared minus 16. The denominator cannot equal 0. It factors as the difference of squares into x plus 4 and x minus 4. Therefore, x cannot equal negative 4, and x cannot equal positive 4. The domain is all real numbers except negative 4 and positive 4. So what we'll start is negative infinity up to the lower of the two, which is negative 4, round brackets so that it doesn't include, and then between negative 4 and positive 4, and then greater than positive 4 up to positive infinity. The next thing to do is find the derivative. This is a quotient here. We'll make use of the quotient rule. Derivative of the numerator is a 1 times the denominator left alone, x squared minus 16, minus the numerator left alone, x minus 5, times the derivative of the denominator, 2x, and then the entire thing over the denominator squared. We can distribute the 1 in here. 1 times anything is the same thing, so that will give x squared minus 16. And we can distribute the negative 2x in here. That will give a negative 2x squared and a positive 10x. Over, and we'll leave the denominator the way it is. In the numerator, we can combine like terms together. There's an x squared and a negative 2x squared. Combining those will give a negative x squared. There's a plus 10x, and there's a minus 16. Now that we have a simplified fraction and all powers are positive, we can set the numerator equal to 0 and the denominator equal to 0 and solve for all x's. Starting with the numerator, negative x squared plus 10x minus 16 equals 0. The first thing to do is factor out a negative so that the x squared term is positive. It'll make it easier to factor. It'll now be a negative 10x and a positive 16. And we can trinomial factor. It will be x and x. We need two numbers that multiply to a positive 16 and add to a negative 10. They need to both be negative. And it sounds like negative 8 and negative 2 will take care of that. This leads to x equaling a positive 8 and x equaling a positive 2. Now we can work with the denominator. X squared minus 16 squared equals to 0. The first thing to do is take square root of both sides. Square root of square will cancel each other out, and that'll leave x squared minus 16. Square root of 0 is still 0. X squared minus 16 is a difference of squares, and we'll factor into x plus 4 and x minus 4. Solving for x, it will give a negative 4 and a positive 4. We only keep those that are in the domain, so we will compare each of these x values with the domain. The domain is all real numbers except for negative 4 and positive 4. X equals 8 is a real number, and it's not a negative 4 or positive 4. Same thing with x equals 2, so we will keep both of those. x equals negative 4 is not in the domain. Neither is x equals positive 4. We'll cross those out. And there are our two critical numbers for the function, x equals 8 and x equals 2.